Hi, this is Kyle Schwarber, and welcome to the Phillies Show.
Ruben Amaro Jr., Jim Salisbury, Todd Zolecki. It's the Philly Show. It's Friday, July 11th, 2025. How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's just doing great out there, wherever you are. If you're in the car, you're mowing the lawn. That's why I like to listen to my podcast. I'm doing yard work.
Oh,
yeah.
Having a nice beer, summer, the very, very hot summer there in Philly, if you're listening.
Yes.
Grab yourself a cold one. Why not? And
Even if
the podcast.
Exactly right. This is posting early on Friday morning, so hey, get started right for the weekend.
Go to Bet Parks Casino.
That's exactly
right. Philly Show.
You can do that.
We have a great
on your phones.
That's right. We have a great giveaway going right now, guys, on the Chat BCC group chat. Think you know ball? Prove it in our trivia game for a shot at winning an authentic MLB jersey or your choice worth up to $400. Man, I can't read. Here's how to enter. Sign up at foulterritory.chat. Play trivia, crush it, and you might win. We're picking one winner from the top scores at random. Deadline is July 13th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. So get in there, play, win, and brag. There you go. So
let me say something about that read there, Todd. You don't have to read. You just have to write.
That's right. That's right. People don't realize it's tough to talk sometimes. It is tough to talk. I think I told you once. One time years ago when I was doing a live hit on an MLB network, Shane Victorino was gesticulating behind a garbage can during my live hit, and with a garbage, and
I PG or was it?
Yeah, he was keeping it. It was like a hard PG-13, and I almost said something that would have I almost ended my career that afternoon, my friends.
And, you can say it once.
So you can say it once. So I almost said something and I went up to him afterwards. I said, "Don't ever do that again." I said, I can't end my career because you're goofing around behind me. He's like, "Oh, my bad.
He was very, very impish.
Yeah, he was very impish. We love Shane. Phillies open a 3-game series on Friday night in San Diego. We asked you guys for questions, Phillies questions, and we got a lot. And I'm going to start with one right now with the Parks Casino first pitch. First pitch is brought to us exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino. So here's one that I think is probably the most relevant. We got a lot of trade deadline questions, a lot of roster makeup questions. This is from LTD. It is what it is on X. Said, from each of your perspective, one game doesn't force a trade, but how does Tuesday's game change things for the Phillies and their bullpen needs? Please, he says, or she says, without moving Aiden Miller or Justin Crawford, unless it's top talent, I can't stand hearing about either being moved for lesser talent. So in case you guys forgot, Tuesday night, the Phillies are winning the ball game, and then disaster happens. Orion Kirkring is unavailable. He's got some soreness. He reports before the game. He's feeling a little sore. The Phillies had thought he might be available, was not available. Regardless, Jordan Romano cleans up a mess in the 8th inning, and then they send him back out there to pitch the 9th. Puts a couple guys on. Bada bing, bada boom. Inside the park, 3-run home run, walk off. They lose the game. Jordan Romano now has a 7.44 ERA. Highest ERA by a Phillies pitcher in his first 36 appearances. No one's had a higher ERA ever. The last Phillies pitcher to have an ERA higher than 7 in his first 36 appearances this season was actually Brad Lidge in 2009, when he had, he goes from literally the best to literally the worst reliever in the span of one season. So does one game change anything for the Phillies? You think Dave Nabrowski was pounding his fist on the desk saying, "Go get him, boys"?
Doesn't change anything. It just emphasizes and accentuates the need for relief help, leverage relief help, shutdown, late game, whatever you want to call it. I think they need multiples. I think they need a big one and a medium one, or a big one and a smaller one. I think they need 3 relievers as I look at this bullpen. And I think one might come from within the rotation. But I would like to see them get a big arm at the back, but I don't think Tuesday night's game changes that. Dave Dombrowski knows what they need.
So if I'm the GM in this situation, here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to get Jose Alvarado back. I'm not going to get him back for the playoffs, but I am going to get him back. That's one reliever for me. I am going to make a trade for one good quality back-end reliever that can get 3 outs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th consistently, or try to. That's 2 relievers. And then I'm going to take one of our guys out of our bullpen when we get into the playoffs, and I'm going to stick that guy in the bullpen. And that's 3 relievers. Now, which guy that is? Right now, I think that the first 3 guys are Wheeler, Sanchez, and Suarez are my 3 starters. If I need a 4th starter, I probably would go right now. I would go with, as things stands today, because we don't have Nola in the rotation yet. I would go 4th starter. I would go with Jesus Luzardo. After that, if Nola is pitching well, then he becomes my 4th, and I put Luzardo in the pen. That's how I would do it. That's not set in stone. That's just my opinion about how to go about it, and that's where you get your 3rd reliever in the playoffs.
So you think you can make
because now you're not going to have Alvarado for the playoffs, so you're going to have to use 1 or 2 of those guys from the rotation and throw them into the back end of the bullpen or somewhere in the bullpen to try to get you some outs. But that's sort of how I go about it.
I don't know how good Alvarado.
I'd love to get 2 guys. I don't know how good Alvarado's going to be, but I think that's what there's got to be thinking.
I mean, he's coming back, but obviously he had some help. We saw his numbers spike, his velocity and stuff.
Correct.
So he's suspended for a PED violation. He had some help. So without that help and with 80 games off, I don't know what he's going to be. And I think it's naive to think he's going to be the same guy he was for the first 6 weeks of the season. But
I agree with that. But he's going to be better than what he's got right now because the guys that are flipping stuff in there in the back end, and Romano's been terrible. You can't, nowhere to work around it. He's been bad and inconsistent, and love the guy, great guy, just hasn't done a good job. And they're going to need some people other than Orion Kirkering and Matt Strom to do some work back there.
Are you guys comfortable? The LTD is not comfortable giving up Aiden Miller or Justin Crawford for a big bullpen arm in the back. How comfortable are you guys doing that? I mean, I guess obviously it depends. You give up a Justin Crawford if you're going to get a stud. He's going to pitch and just dominate. But the idea of giving him up for David Bednar or something like that, that would be. I don't know if that would be
tough call.
Exciting.
Yeah,
it's a tough call because I think Crawford could be in play here in Philadelphia and help this team sooner than Miller. So it's a very tough call.
I wouldn't be surprised if Miller, Rincones, Abel, all 3 of those guys are in play, and probably more Tait, others. I think there's guys that are going to be in play. It's as simple as that. They're in play. You want to get a player to help you, you're going to have to give something up for it. And I don't know what else they have down below, like off the top of my head, but
Arun Escobar
in play.
Yeah, Arun Escobar just moved into the MLB Pipeline's top 100. So there's another guy
he's gone. He's gone.
he might be. Yeah, I could see like Tait, Escobar, and some of those mid-tier guys that they have, pitch arms and stuff like that getting traded. I think they'll try to hold on to Miller and Crawford with every fiber of their being, but
Abel might be in play. I mean, whatever you do, it's gonna hurt, but you got to fix this thing. You got to get a shutdown arm out in that bullpen, and I'm very confident they will because they know they have a ticking odometer on the nucleus of this team. They know they have a great starting rotation, and they know they got to win one.
And I'm not trading Ranger Suarez, folks. Not trading him. I'm not trading anybody from the team. You're not trading Alec Boehm. unless you're going to replace him with a third baseman you think is better. It's not happening. I mean, you rob Peter to pay Paul. You're Roboma's like their 4-hole hitter. I mean, you're talking about. I see these crazy, ridiculous, stupid ideas that are out there, and it makes me go nuts. Okay, you can't take from your major league team, rob Peter to pay Paul just because some guy has a tough, 2 weeks or a week. These are integral parts of the team, and you can't be pulling pieces apart. Just don't do it. I
keep hearing like trade Ranger Suarez, and it's like it makes no sense to me. You're in it to win the World Series. You need him to win the World Series. And oh, by the way, if you traded Ranger Suarez, who is going to be a free agent, the only team that's going to trade for him is a contender, a team that could beat your ass in the World Series or the postseason. You're not doing it.
Right. It's a great point.
Insanity. It's insanity.
That is such a great point, Jim.
A great point, but we make great points here on the Phillies show, and especially in our first pitch feature, and that was First Pitch, presented exclusively by our partners at Parks Casino, Pennsylvania's #1 casino, parkscasino.com. You must be 21. If you have a gambling problem, get out your phone and call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Phillies fans, whether you're hustling on the field or having a catch with your kids, staying mobile is everything. That's where Rothman Orthopedics comes in. With expert care and top docs, they keep the Phillies and Philly moving. With 30 office and walk-in center locations across greater Philadelphia and New Jersey, getting world-class orthopedic care has never been easier. From injury recovery to joint care, Rothman's got you covered, because at Rothman Orthopedics, your mobility is their mission. Schedule an appointment now at rothmanortho.com.
Hey, let me say something about, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Todd.
I was going to say, scan the QR code on your screen.
I will tell you something. The people at Rothman are phenomenal. I've had a lot of work personally. I've had friends, family. The doctors there are top notch. It's a special place. They take care of you. They treat you well. They have state-of-the-art facilities. It's spectacular.
I had a 5 or 6 years ago, I had a foot thing going on, and I went there. I'm like, why does it hurt every time I walk? They fixed me right up. I'm mobile again. I am mobile again. Thank goodness. So yeah, the Rothman they are fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So Ruben, you mentioned something about robbing Peter to pay Paul and Alec Boehm, but so here's a question I just got, and I didn't write down who wrote it. I apologize. How creative should the Phillies be at the deadline? Eugenio Suarez would definitely help the lineup from the Diamondbacks, the slugging third baseman from the Diamondbacks. But the Diamondbacks, they're a game under 500 right now, and they're like 4.5 out of the wild card, and they've invested all this money. I don't think the Diamondbacks are going to do a big salary dump type of situation. It's so complicated. So I don't think they're going to get that creative. That'd be really creative. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, is it possible? I mean, it's possible, but you end up flipping one guy for another for some power, and someone who's really super streaky, another very, very streaky player in Eugenio Suarez. He can strike out with the best of them for a long period of time. And yes, he can hit a home run from time to time, but would you rather have contact or power? I don't know which way you want to go. We got a baby in the background here, guys. We got a baby in the background.
He had an incredible month of June. Hit a whole bunch of home runs in June. If you were to deal for that right-handed bat, Suarez, wouldn't Boehm have to be in that deal, or another? He'd have to be in another deal.
Right.
And I don't know. To me, it has a lot of moving parts, and I think he's going to the Yankees anyway.
There you go. One thing I will say about for fans out there and the trade deadline, I say this all the time to people, but you're going to see a lot of tweets and a lot of reports of, the Phillies are checking in on, just insert any late inning reliever, just put it out there now. They're checking in on every late inning reliever. So don't go crazy when you hear somebody say the Phillies have checked in on Aroldis Chapman. Don't go bananas when they hear that they've been scouting the Twins and their late inning relievers. it would be a news story, and I say this all the time. It would be a news story if it was like, can you believe this? The Phillies have not sent a single scout to check the Twins bullpen. They have not sent a single scout to go check the Pirates relievers, Santana and Bednar. That would be the story of my friends. Or the Phillies saying, you know what? They haven't even called the Pirates or the Twins or any of these teams. So just keep that in mind. You're going to hear a lot. You're going to see a lot of people too. A lot of it's nonsense. A lot of it's from people that don't know anything. They're just throwing it up against the wall to try to build a reputation or whatever. Just find who you trust and then trust those people.
People are trying to get clicks, man. Here's the reality. Yeah. If there's a reliever, that's a good one, and it's part of a team that's not contending, you can be sure that the Phillies have inquired about it.
I have a list right here
with that organization. I mean, it's not that tough.
I have a list of guys I
wrote. It's not that tough. We're talking about very, very competent people and a Hall of Fame president of baseball operations. Okay, so the man is going to go do what's necessary to try to get something done. Doesn't mean something will get done because it's hard to make trades. But the reality of it is, you can be sure he's pounding the pavement.
He'll get something done. There is enormous pressure to get something done. Mm-hmm. And a game like Tuesday night just ramps up the pressure. They knew what they needed before then to answer that first question, but it does ramp up the pressure. I wrote down a bunch of names.
Let's do it.
And I know they're bearing down on all of them, and there's probably more. But Sir Anthony Dominguez having a great year. Anthony Bender, Estevez having a great lead in the American League in saves. I wouldn't be surprised to see a reunion with him. Bautista from Baltimore, Bednar from Pittsburgh, Chapman from Boston, Finnegan from Washington, Foucher from Miami, Duran from Minnesota, Ginkel from Arizona, Miller from Arizona, Miller from the Oakland A's, Iglesias from Atlanta, the other guy from Pittsburgh that you mentioned, Todd.
Dennis Santana.
Santana. And that's probably just a partial list.
Yeah, totally. So they're going to be in on all.
I assure you that they're watching all of them. They're scouting all of them. They're physically scouting them. They're video scouting them. They're breaking them down. They're trying to decide whether there's a match with any of these teams.
Yeah, no doubt.
Simple. Difficult to do, but I assure you they're doing it.
So George Stockberger on Instagram, he's dreaming big because he wanted me to ask, is Stephen Kwan a reasonable trade option? What's a fair package of prospects for Stephen Kwan? Now the Guardians are 4.5 games out of the wild card, under 500. They're not playing well. Stephen Kwan is fantastic. Gets on base, hits, puts the ball in play, high batting average. He's also under team control for about 3 more years. Yeah. So that's
you get he and their closer, and you're
Class A.
You're Class A. He and Class A, and then you can give him 7 players.
And throw in Ramirez. I'll give him the whole farm system.
I throw in Crawford and Miller and all those guys because guess what? They're big leaguers who are performing right now, today, and guys who can win.
You would have
the other guys are prospects.
I mean, in that dream scenario, Class A and Kwan, I mean, it would start with Miller and Crawford for sure, and then it would keep going.
Miller, Crawford, Abel, etc.
Titan has a great contract too.
Yeah.
Keep going. Keep going.
That would be great if they could pull it off. Stephen Kwan would be fantastic hitting on the top of that lineup.
It would be great. I mean, listen, It's okay to be bold and to think big, but it's good. It's going to deplete your system. Simple as that.
So, I mean, Ruben, you made some really big blockbuster trades in July.
No fear.
So So, I mean, I was going to say, like, are those the types of things you call the Guardians about? You say, like, what would it take? Would you consider this Kwan? You just throw names out there and just see what the GM says in response. Yeah.
Yes. Would you move the guy? And they'll probably say, nope, I wouldn't move Steve Kwan. I said, really? You wouldn't move him? What if we had this guy available? What if we made this guy available? Nope, still not moving him. Okay, next guy. Or if he's available, then we have a discussion.
Just like when you asked for Giancarlo Stanton 10 times when he was with Miami.
10, 12 times.
And it was a hard no every time, Ruben, or what?
Hard no. I asked him if they, And pick anybody you want. Pick them all.
I asked Ruben about that. I quoted Ruben as saying, I've asked about him 10 times. I tried to get him 10 times. And I believe the commissioner's office called the Phillies and said, there's a little problem with something called tampering. Could you stop that?
Truth.
Let's see here. Is it safe to say, this is from Fright Night 666 on Instagram. Is it safe to say I was dead on with Jordan Romano? So I guess he was not a fan of the signing at the time, but man, I tell you what, I don't know what I expected from Jordan Romano, but I did not expect a guy to have a 7.44 ERA,
after 36 appearances.
After 36 appearances. I mean, it's just been stunning. And he seemed absolutely like lost or down, certainly down after what happened on Tuesday night. And, for him, it's like he feels like he gets on a little bit of a roll, and then it's just I think the way he put it was a big bad inning or big bad outing. You get on 3 or 4 scoreless, he's feeling pretty good, then big bad outing. And that's, you look at his game logs and it's like 0s, 6, 0s, 3, 0s, 3. And that explains the 7.44. I just don't know how you trust the guy right now in a big spot late in the game, but what options
he's shown
do you
signs
have?
of greatness. I mean, he's shown signs of like having a filthy slider and a nasty fastball up in the zone, tough to distinguish from, and then the next outing he gets lit up. And so it's a very tough thing for you to manage as a manager. Like, how do you pick the time when he's going to be lights out, and how do you pick the time when he's not? You just don't. And the inconsistency is the thing. He's shown flashes of greatness. I mean, we've shown flashes of being dominant, and then there's other times he's just not. It's a mystery.
Got to use him in 6th and 7th for a while. Get him out of that pressure pack.
Yeah. Phillies have a 3-game series this weekend going in the All-Star break against the Padres. Obviously, you can't go to the game unless you're flying out to San Diego this weekend. If you're watching the game on TV, you can always have a little bit of extra fun on your phone, Ruben, right?
Yeah, it's something new. You guys have been hearing me talk about Parks Casino. It's Pennsylvania's largest casino. There's so much to do, so many things just to go and to be entertained by. But, I love making a trip to Parks Casino, and I'm happy to tell you about something that's new. It's the Bet Parks app, the online casino and sportbook from Parks Casino. It brings you all that action and excitement from the casino in the palm of your hand. I love to watch the game, and it's more fun when you're watching the game and you have a little skin in the game. You could do some betting on the app. Philadelphia baseball. It opens a series, as you said, Todd, in San Diego, and live betting is better on the Bet Parks app. Bet game combos, player performances, and more on the Bet Parks app, like this one. I mean, plus, listen, they have something called the Bet Wire that you can use inside the actual casino, live right inside in the app itself. Think TikTok, but for people that love sports betting more than dance tracks. BetWire is like the all-new sports betting live feed, and they give you quick videos. It gives you hot takes, some game predictions, that kind of thing. And you scroll a little bit further down on the app, and you get tail a pick with a simple tap and get fired up with the BetWire, the live sports betting content feed right inside the BetParks app. And there's so many different games you can check out too. Huff and More Puff, Mega Fire Blaze. This app has pretty much everything you want to do as someone who wants to do it like literally on the palm of their hand. There's a new casino users this is something that's new. $1,000 cash back if you see betparks.com, and you must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Michigan, or Maryland to use that BetParks app. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. You love to play, you love to win, you bet Parks.
Hey, let's do a little player spotlight thanks to Arena Club. AJ, give me a player this season that you think is underrated and you might want to try and grab his card.
James Wood. I don't know that he's underrated, but Washington Nationals superstar in the making. And the first slab pack I ever opened had him in it. His rookie card, and the value is only going to go up and up and up. And I'm not going to sell it quite yet, Scott. I'm going to hold on to it because after he continues to hit big homers and put up the stats, make all-star teams, it's going to get more expensive for someone to buy for me.
This is his first full season in the majors. Keep that in mind. I think he's underrated. He's on a Nationals team that's meh. Not getting enough attention. He might hit 40 homers.
When he makes the all-star team this year, they're not going to be underrated.
That helps. He's been intentionally walked 4 times in a game. Anyway, if you want to try and find a Wood rookie card, go check out slab packs on Arena Club. And right now you can get 20% off your first slab pack. Or if you just want to go with a card purchase, go to arenaclub.com/FOUL. Use code FOUL. If you buy, sell, trade, collect, go for it.
We are back answering more of your questions. And this is something that came up after Monday's game. And this is from I Have His Card on X. Does Rob Thompson have a pulse? Because Phil Cuzzy on Monday, right?
Yeah, Phil Cuzzy had a really tough day. Had a really tough day on Monday.
Yeah, really tough day on Monday. We saw all the pitches. We saw the thing, and everybody immediately the next day, they want Rob Thompson to go out there and get ejected.
Oh, rile the team up.
Rile the team up. I don't know. I mean, I guess I've been covering. I don't know, but the whole you have to have a team meeting. You have to get ejected. You have to throw some stuff around in the dugout to show support for your players. I don't know. I mean, I think that stuff is so overblown. I mean, there's certainly times and places to do it, but every time there's a bad strike zone, the guy's supposed to go out and get ejected. And I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I being too soft?
No, he's got a pulse. You have to be true to your personality. He's not a fly off the handle. I mean, that would have tested me a little bit because Cuzzy was terrible. But you got to be. You can't fake it. If it's not in you, it's not in you. But we've seen him a couple times lose it. But players see right through it when it's fake. And but there was a lot to it, man. Phil Cuzzy, man, took the bat out of their hands. Then he cost Kirkering cost him a win, really.
Yeah, and I will say this. I mean, one thing about Rob Thompson, when it comes to support, he supports the guys on a daily basis by talking to them, having a relationship with them. That's how he supports them. He supports them by putting them in the lineup. He supports them in a lot of different ways, by showing confidence in them, by the way he goes about his business. I had a conversation with Phil Cuzzy a couple of days ago, and I saw him in down near the dugout, down near their umpiring room. And I've known him for a long time. He is a very prideful man. He's a good guy. He had a really bad day, and he felt like crap. And I know that this hurts him. And he knows that he did not do a good job. He knows that when there's pitches that are very close, that's understandable, and you miss them, you don't miss them. But he also acknowledged to me that there were some pitches that were well out of the zone or in the zone that he missed. And he felt really badly about it. And he in fact, he said, I lost sleep. I've been losing sleep the last couple of nights about it. So this is something that is really important to them to do well. I mean, they're scrutinized more than ever now with that box and everything. And yeah. I'm one of them who does scrutinize them. It's made it very difficult on them, and they want to be good. It's not like he's trying to be bad. He had a tough day, and he was feeling pretty bad about it. That doesn't make it right. I'm just saying that, these are human beings and people screw up sometimes. That's life. And
the box has really changed things.
It's cost of Phillies.
The box has really changed things for these guys. I'll tell you what's also – we talk about hitting being hard these days and why it's hard because the stuff is so big. I mean, I think sometimes the stuff is so electric and there's so much late movement and different kinds of movement than you didn't see in the past that it's tough on the umpires as well.
No doubt.
Yeah, I mean, you saw Bryce and Phil talking at second base yesterday. I'm sure he was expressing that. He was expressing that to him. So let's see a few more here. We've talked about this guy, but I'll bring him up again. How do you feel about Luis Robert Jr. as a buy low candidate? The price wouldn't be very high, and he might be a good replacement for Johan West. James Finnegan, that's from James Finnegan on Threads. So James, that's what Ruben gave you the noise.
You want my answer?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to make one of those memes out of that.
Let's see.
I don't think Robert's done anything to warrant making a trade for him. He's got ability. Everybody's got ability. Everybody in the big leagues has ability. You have to perform.
God, that'd be so. I mean, just think about the risk involved in that. Like, because you'd be trading for a guy who's been bad for the last 2 years.
And if they want to give me a player and they want to just give him to me, and maybe take a little bit of the salary and just hand them over because we're trying to get rid of them. Okay, we'll just take them just for the hell of it. And you can option, you can go and option Johan Rojas down. That's no skin up their ass. But I mean, if you're going to invest in a guy like this, I mean, you're talking about a crapshoot,
right?
And you're not. I don't trust it.
Let's do a couple more. This is from Debbie CNX. Why do you think Dave Dombrowski has been so reluctant to go for it at the deadline? We've needed a bat for 3 years now. Will he finally go for it? I was hoping for Suarez from Arizona. Any chance for that? Well, we just talked about Suarez and why that's unlikely, but
take a look at Suarez's numbers in the next 3 weeks and see if you still love him.
Right.
Because he's super streaky, man. He's super streaky. He's had a really good year power-wise. I get it.
Yeah.
But he can punch you out now.
Oh, yeah. I think in terms of the bats, we've talked about this in previous episodes. There's not that guy out there that's going to be available where you're like, this guy makes sense. This is the guy you should go out and trade Aiden Miller and Justin Crawford for, or Aiden Miller and Mick Abel for, because if you plug him into left field, he's going to hit fourth and he's going to be awesome. And all your offensive problems are going to go away. I don't know if that guy's out there. I mean, there's not a lot of Hunter Pensons out there. There really aren't. It just doesn't exist. It just doesn't. It's not. They're not readily available.
On Suarez, I think Dombrowski had him originally with the Tigers and traded him. I think he's always kind of regretted that. I mean, that adds an interesting element to it. So what would you do? You'd have to either move Bohm, or Bohm goes to first and Harper goes to the left. And I don't know if they would do that mid-season. I know Bryce has said he might do it for the right guy, but when push comes to shove, I don't know that he's going to embrace that, one, at all, and two, mid-season.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, that would – I agree with you. Is there any chance they cut Jordan Romano, Tim Rooney on Blue Sky?
I'd say no. He's better than some of the guys that you're deep on your depth chart in that bullpen. And I think you take him out of leverage and you try to get something out of him. The season's still got 2.5 months. See what can happen. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, it depends what they do at the deadline. And then last one, Jim, this is for you. This is from Dirk Chisel on X. with all the rain and hot weather we've had lately, how much flow does Jimmy have over his tomatoes right now?
Wow, that's a regular listener.
That's the personal. He wants to know
that is a hardcore Philly show listener, Dirk Chisel. Yeah. Asking Jimmy a tomatoes question using the word flow.
We've had these hellacious rainstorms that, the garden looks like it went 10 rounds with Muhammad Ali every night. Every day I'm out there picking stuff up and tying it up. It's just gotten beaten up. So I'd like the rain to stop because it's hard to grow stuff in mud. But, we'll see. It's not good to all that heavy pounding rain. We've had a few of them the last few nights.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, all right, guys. We will be back next week, wrapping up the Padres series, wrapping up the first half, talking about the first half, talking about the second half. Guys, talk to you later.
Smell you later.
Smell you, Salisbury.
The Philly Show is brought to you by the Foul Territory Network. Subscribe to The Philly Show on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. If you like us, give us a review. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, and Threads. Find Ruben's analysis before, during, and after Phillies games on NBC Sports Philadelphia, on the Sports Radio 94 WIP Morning Show, and MLB Network. Find Jim at allphly.com. Find me at MLB.com, the Phillies Beat newsletter, and MLB Network.